Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War 4 on the Series X, and this is my insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 2-1. It is entitled The Prodigal Son. I really enjoy this chapter. It's got a difficult fight, but that notwithstanding, I find the fight really exciting and challenging and interesting because you're always walking the edge of death on this fight because you have many Deadeye enemies with M bars. One of them is on the balcony, and the other ones are on the ground. What I like to do first is to change out my Enforcer for Marcus's custom Lancer, and then I sprint over here and trade out my Nasher for the. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the Mardska gun. I think it is the one that they pretty much ruined, and it was perfect in Judgment. But the Deadeye on the balcony is the one that I'm shooting at right now, if Kate would get the fuck out of the way. And there are some trackers that roll around, but there's only a couple of them. And in my experience, they kind of leave you alone over here. This is a decent spot. Now, you can get killed over here if he sidelines you, but it's a pretty safe spot to take him out. It would be lovely to have a long shot, but of course they purposely made it so that you don't have a long shot. There's one of the frag grenades that the tracker left. It's hard too. It's really difficult, and what I would recommend is to just definitely focus on the Deadeyes. But if you have a chance, take out the lesser enemies. Well, I don't know if they should qualify as lessers, but they're definitely not as dangerous as an enemy that can one-shot you. And I don't mind getting one-shotted if it's a fair fight, and this is a very fair fight. It's just difficult. I like the environment too. But the sad thing is that this fight and the remaining fights, well, I guess there's just two. There's two fights inside the mansion, and they're all in the same checkpoint. So this fight can take quite a while because you have to be really patient here and accurate. If you don't, you're going to get killed. So it would have been nice if they had a checkpoint in the mansion, but alas, they don't. So anyway, push up at your own risk. Sometimes it might seem like they're, they've got a beat on you, but trust me, they can't get you if you're in cover. So don't worry about that. The guy on the balcony may have been able to do that. Okay. So see what I'm doing here? I'm aiming over my left shoulder and walking over this way because the cover to the left is like just a desk, and the enemies can shoot over it. So I like to do this aiming over the left shoulder trick. You might ask, well, why don't you just lean up against that door right there in front of you to your right? Well, you can't. If you try to push up against that against cover, you'll roll. So it's not a piece of cover that you can go to. It's simply not cover. So I'll show you. I might jump in there and show you what it is. It's this right here. I've been shot sitting behind that desk. Anyway, after those two enemies are done, you want to carefully push up because you've got a couple more enemies that are dug in. And what I would recommend is to throw a frag. Dug in enemies, deserve that kind of payment or retribution, I might say. But he's an M-bar guy too. So there's no shortage of M-bar guys in this chapter. Wow. Okay, so for this part over here, you can do the same sort of tactic where you can go up against one of these pillars so that you can aim over your left shoulder. It's a little ridiculous to have to do this, but there is the option of going across the hall to a room that flanks the enemies. But you would want to take care of at least one of the guys that's closest to you. Like I just took care of that guy, and then you can come over here, and then you can flank the enemies. I can't promise you they won't come in here though, but you just got to be really careful. And I do believe that there is one more guy with an M bar over here who I believe I chainsaw, and I think the reason was he rushed me. So thank goodness, because if you die during any of that, you have to start at that moment where you're jumping out of the window of Marcus's room. So it's pretty bad. But we're sitting pretty. We're happy ducks. We've got the custom Lancer. Our good old Papa gave it to us. And I will see you in the second of Act 2. And until we see each other again, or at least hear each other again, please continue to take care.